The hopeless phrase AI is taking jobs has been going around the internet for years now. This is a broad, very broad, scary, and uncertain phrase. We don't know what's going to happen. Popular and influential narratives are claiming the extreme outcome that AI could replace up to 50% of white collar jobs within 5 years. There is so much noise and fear in this space that it's really hard to decipher where the state of AI technology is on impacting careers, the job market, the general economy as a whole. And the problem with that is if you don't know where you stand in a society, why put effort into building a career? Where should you put your effort into building a career? If you're entering the job market, thinking about entering the job market, you are in the job market, these are great questions that you should be asking yourself. To be blunt, I cannot answer these questions myself. I don't know the future state of AI. I am no oracle, but what I can give you is my take on the state of AI as an entry level, white collar, quote unquote, replaceable employee. So, why does my opinion even matter? Why does my situation impact you? I think the general consensus isn't that AI is going to be taking these high level white collar jobs, but rather it'll replace a lot of the entry level work by allowing one manager, one person to do the work of many, and in turn removing the need for so many entry level positions. With that in mind, I'm roughly 4 months into my entry level white collar finance position. I'm going to keep my job intentionally vague, but I do corporate finance for a smallish company doing roughly $50 to $100 million in sales per year. Before starting this role, I was pretty optimistic about AI. We used a lot of AI while in school. In college, we were encouraged to use AI to help on homework, on projects, and AI was a really powerful tool, especially powerful considering that it's been trained on all of the curriculum that professors continually reteach year after year. Going into my role, starting my role, I was kind of the opinion or the mindset that how can I automate as much of the work I do as possible using AI? After starting my role, to my surprise, I realized that a lot of the finance, the accounting work, the budgeting, the accounts receivable, accounts payable work that I do is just so custom and people reliant that it's really hard to automate, or it'd be really hard to automate. For AI to do what I do, it would need access and context of hundreds of conversations, hours of conversations, emails, texts, body language. And it's really just not feasible for AI to have access to all this context. On top of that, so much of what I do is edge case situations that you run into once, twice, three times, maybe in the history of the company. So it doesn't really make sense to make, train, build AI tools to assist with these tasks because that would, in theory, take longer than just completing the tasks themselves. I like to compare my situation to piloting. Why don't we use AI to just fly commercial planes? Why do we still use pilots? Well, the truth of the matter is AI does actually do a lot of the piloting. We have autopilot that actually flies most of your commercial flights. However, pilots are still present to solve and handle edge case situations that only a person would understand. So much of the work I do is surprisingly just unrepetitive and tends to be edge case situations. Because of this, I don't see my role going away for years and years. My job, although it's white collar, is so people reliant that it's just not going away. My biggest realization over the past 4 months is exactly that. Soft skills are becoming increasingly valuable. And in my case, a white collar job that is heavily reliant on soft skills, well, it's not to say it's untechnical work, it does rely on a lot of people skills to accomplish the technical work, which makes my job extremely resistant to AI. My takeaway and advice for people who are thinking about entering, or are already in the job market, like I said, is to find careers that rely heavily on these soft skills. Invest in careers that rely heavily on soft skills. make yourself irreplaceable. Use AI to enhance your work, enhance your efficiency, and you will be heavily rewarded with longevity and career stability. Anyways, that's it for my take. Hope it was helpful. Leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on AI in the job market, job economy. And if you stay to the end, consider subscribing. Thanks.